Going through my old videos, I noticed that an old short video I had of my car's engine smoking was the video with the most views of all of my videos. So, kind of made me just give up and decide, well, you're the real star of the show, Jem. You're the one who people want to see. So let's take a look at her. This is Jem. Jem is a 2002 Subaru Outback LLB. That means she has the 6-cylinder engine. You see on the front grille there, she is H6 3.0. There's a lot going on with this car. She has over 200,000 miles. We did a head gasket rebuild when she had about 174,000 miles. I did not do the head gasket rebuild. It was done by Subaru. We're just gonna look at her today. One of the first things I have to do is clean out my car because she's kind of a mess and I tend to get sunblock everywhere. Getting into my car is kind of interesting. I have this key fob, and as you see, it's held together by tape. It doesn't really fit on a key chain anymore, so I have to make sure I don't lose it because this is basically my car that I can hold in my hand. So, opened her up. I'm going to open the door. And inside here, I don't know if you can see, here's the instrument panel. And right now, she has 205,805 miles. And she is due for an oil change. So one thing about me, I am not a mechanic. I am just a person who owns a old Subaru Outback. And sometimes necessity makes it so that I have to wrench. And one of the things about owning a car that I've discovered, in fact, I would even recommend this to anyone who has a brand new car, because you really have to check your fluids every day. You have to make sure that your car is not going to get hurt when it goes out and runs. So what I do with this car is every day before I start my day of driving it, I pop the hood and I check the fluids. And I do believe that it was because of my negligence before. I wasn't so good about doing this in the past, but that might have led to my head gasket expiring. I don't know. At that time, I didn't really understand my coolant system all that well. I knew it had a proprietary coolant fluid, and so whenever I'd go to get service at a mechanic, I'd always say, check my fluids, make sure they're okay and all that. Check my antifreeze. I don't really understand that. And then I had a head gasket go, so I don't know if they were really doing what I asked or not. Also, Subarus are known to have head gasket expiring issues, so I don't know. I don't know if it was my fault or just something that went with the car, but nowadays I do go and check all of the fluids. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood, which is right down here. Okay, so to open this car, just kind of go in here and lift a little bit and move the lever, and she comes right up. We have it like this. You can see the hood is propped open, and I'll just go through my kind of basic routine of checking the fluids. So the video I mentioned before that has the most views is the one of the engine smoking. And I initially made this video to try to use it to show on some forums that I'm a part of that issue that I was having, because that was the time I was trying to figure out the head gasket issue. So, well, it turned out it did have a bad head gasket. The smoking was actually from oil leakage through the valve cover gasket. And unfortunately it still does smoke and have that valve cover leak. So Subaru in their head gasket rebuilds apparently does not cover the valve cover gasket, which is a little strange. So I'm going to check the oil, and please excuse my kind of weird camera work. I'm just working with this handheld and don't have a tripod. Hopefully I'll edit this into something better looking afterwards. But I'm going to set the camera down. I'm going to take out this dipstick right here. And it's got oil on it, so the first thing I do is wipe it off. I need to strip on my engine cover, and I'm going to stick it back in. Right. So now when I pull it out, you can see it's a little bit over. That's okay. Now in the coolant, this is the radiator, and this is the overflow container. So I generally just look into the overflow container. And I don't know if you can, yeah, there you see, there's the line, there's some coolant. If it was below, there's a second line down there. If it was below that line right now, I would have to add coolant. And if I saw it below that line, I would probably also take off this radiator cap while it's still cool and just make sure that I have coolant at the top of the radiator. So I'm just going to close that up. That's all set. Over here I have my brake fluid. It's right above the master cylinder there. And over here we have the power steering fluid. It lives here under the snorkel. I have a leak somewhere, not sure yet where it's going. There's like a little boot that goes to the tire assembly. It's always kind of consistently wet, like some of the power steering fluid may be coming out there. Today I'm also going to try to get this engine cover off of here. When I started the car yesterday, I was actually checking out my air conditioner, which doesn't work. Back there, right there, is the air conditioner compressor. So I was watching some fix-it videos on YouTube. So I wanted to come and see if my compressor was really doing anything, and sure enough, when I start the car, it just sits there. So I'm probably out of coolant for the air conditioner. But I want to see kind of what's going on over here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there are these little tiny oily kind of droplets sort of sprayed here. And when I got home yesterday, there was more of them. There was like something spraying in the front. And I kind of wiped it up because I was trying to pick it up and see if it had a color that might hint as to what it is. Maybe it was green for the antifreeze, or that pinkish color for transmission fluid, which is also the power steering fluid. In this car, the power steering takes transmission fluid. That's just how it is. Went to Subaru one day and asked for power steering fluid, and they handed me transmission fluid. I go, oh wait, this is not the right thing, but I said, look at the bottle, and sure enough. The oily substance that I mopped up was sort of yellowish, so I'm not sure really what it was. Alright, so I'm going to go in now and grab the wrenches and try to get this engine cover off and see what we're dealing with under there. So, we'll be back. Alright, it's me. I'm back. Brought out some wrenches, and right now using a ratchet fits these bolts. This is 3/8. I'm assuming 3/8 of an inch socket wrench. So my car is metric, and I really do need to get a set of metric wrenches for this car. What? Feels like I'm tightening it. Not sure how to reverse this wrench. If it has reverse, okay, maybe that feels like you're listening. And this one's coming up, actually coming up. Alright, one is out. I'm going to put that one in my pocket so I don't lose it. Alright, now we're up here. It's nice that the engine is cold. I haven't run the car today, so it's not super hot being here. I can set the camera down. Yesterday and today were so far the hottest days of the year. So I'm pretty crazy to be out here doing this right now. It's about 100 degrees out here. But I figure this won't take me that long. Alright, one more bolt out. This one that has a broken bolt in it. So my engine cover has some characteristics. What's going on here? That's so weird. It looks like it's turning. I have it set the way I did all the others. Now it's finally coming up. There we go. Now we'll take this engine cover off, see what we're dealing with underneath. There's some chipmunk activity. Okay, engine cover off. And let's look at the engine. There it is. In all its chipmunk seated glory. Now here's where I think my issue is. See, this is pretty wet right here. It's right next to the alternator, part of this belt system, I guess. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so I don't always know exactly what I am looking at. If you know what I am looking at, please leave a comment below, because that is very helpful. Helps me to figure out what is going on with my car and to learn about its various issues. Alright, so now that I have that there, I'm going to start the car up and see if we can see the spraying. I think we probably would. And I'm going to go grab my safety glasses. I am wearing sunglasses, but the appropriate. Okay, I am back. Going to change my glasses and be temporarily more blind, but maybe safer. Okay, start up the lovely gem. And yeah, I really need to clean this car. This car is my daily driver. I have no other car. So we're in a codependent relationship. I have to take care of her. She has to take care of me. And that is the sound. Subaru sound. Alright, so let's go around here and see what is going on. If you see any spraying in this area. Alright, I am not seeing the spraying come out right now, but that wetness there is a cause for concern. I'm going to be looking into that. Again, if you have any ideas about it, love to hear them. And I think that's it for me today. It's about 110 degrees out here. well, maybe like 100 degrees. But we have to go out to the store and maybe to the lake today. So we're going to go as is. The fluids have been working okay when I checked them this morning, so I'm not overly concerned. And this is Jen. By the way, as you can see, she also has an issue right now in the headlights. Got the driver's side is nice and bright and only a dim glow on the passenger side. And if I turn on the nighttime lights or the high beams, that passenger side light will go away entirely. And I've tried changing out fuses and a relay, but we still have this issue. So I think it's grounds, and I think that might be an issue a little bit over my head. So probably some service she's going to have soon. Alright, thank you for joining us. Please be sure to subscribe-a-roo and like and share, and just hope you'll join us next time. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.